Now we ought to be good to go. Roll call. Mag.
Ha.
Excellent. Nicolonius.
Yeah.
Indeed. Coleman the third.
Eduardo is here.
Okay. Nathaniel.
Hello.
All right, cool. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right. I like that enthusiasm, Coleman. Now, for the recap. This time, as I said, the recap is a little bit shorter. The recap is the same as last time, just with this added bit on the end. So, at the mention of Peng, the figure grew defensive, reaching for something within their cloak, but once the name Rory sounded, their malice evaporated, and they asked, "Did you say Rory?" And this is where we'll start the last time on the crawling Dusk. This is where we find our heroes. Wait, hang on. Hang on a sec. I apologize. That was not the right paragraph to start on. So, as the penguin's cloak hoods fell away, and the three penguin folk embraced their lost brother at last, a delicious cook-off between Waldirk and Fenro yielded an exquisite Fencargo and some donuts for dessert. Feeling rested and refreshed from the food, Rory and his brothers said a fond farewell and headed off on the 3-day journey to tell Pi the good news, putting to rest the quest to save the lost brother. Led by Fenro, they carried on, entering the Prismatic Pass, a canyon of ice that had captured within its towering walls numerous deposits of brilliant gems. Light shining through the ice casted a mosaic that threatened to distract and derail the group. But, staying focused, Baggy recalled the route set out for them by the eldest brother Waldirk, and the brave adventurers made it to the ruins of Vardenwald. We find our heroes stepping through the first gate and on to the massive brittle bridge leading to a scene of the Golden Tail party about to fail their attempt to open the main gates. Will our heroes fare any better than the Golden Tail? Will they lend their aid to those in the group seated in Fenro's past struggles? Is that door alive? Let's find out as we begin tonight's session.
Those are eyeballs.
Holy fuck is looking at me.
Indeed.
That bridge is a penis.
Yes, it is kind of phallic, is it not? I'm glad you noticed.
It goes well with my canyon.
Oh, true. Actually,
Are we starting off at the base
that.
of the bridge?
Indeed, yeah. Right at the base there. Right at that gate.
Are.
Indeed, actually.
I can see all the eye protections.
Yeah, under...
Indeed.
Eye protections.
As you should. That'll come in a moment. Don't worry about those for now, okay?
Yeah. I like the teal one.
Oh. It likes you, Nick.
I'm blushing.
Okay. So before we really get into things, as you guys are approaching this brittle bridge, as it were, you see across the way a door with one massive eye in the middle of its abyss-like gate, surrounded by 6 other eyes, one of white, one of tan, one of blue, red, green, and teal. You see the Golden Tail seemingly within each runic circle that reflects the eyes on the wall. if you look at the blue circle, the woman huntress appears to be grappling with another huntress that appears to be wearing the exact same clothes as her.
But she's blue lava diva.
Yes, there is. As you look over, there is a faint blue tint to the skin and the clothes. But the two are grappling, as one holds onto some kind of, literally a keyblade.
Whoa.
Whoa, I know, right? Epic? Epic?
Is one of them obviously winning?
Yes. Would you like
Which
to
one?
try to determine which one?
Yes.
Alright, cool. Roll me just perception.
Bet. George is taking a help action.
Tight. Also, monkey business can now resume, just so we're clear. Oh, snap.
How come I keep getting nat 20s when I have him, when I remember to say he's using the help action?
Didn't even need it. Maybe it's just a good luck charm, you know? So,
I get to see which woman
Oh,
is
spite.
beating the other one.
what isn't exactly reflected here, the sigils that are within the runic circle, right, the symbols of the eyes, surrounded by a glow of their color, are being projected from each respective eye, right? Each eye is sending a projection of that symbol down to its runic circle. There's one person in each circle, and yes, over here, Nick, the seemingly the tinted blue one is absolutely winning, because very soon after you look over there, as you guys are crossing the bridge, this one grabs onto her shoulders, puts a foot in her stomach, and rolls backwards, and tosses her overhead, to where she lands and slides out of the circle. And this one grabs onto the keyblade.
No.
And as that happens, you see as Wallen goes, or sorry, this one, which I apologize, Rod, you would recognize. This one yells out to her and says, like, "Oh no, quickly, back into your circle, go!" But then this one starts stepping backwards nervously and says, "It's too late. It's too late." As this eye, the pupil shrinks, as it seemingly watches what has just unfolded and is displeased. And from that eye sends out a wave of force that knocks all of them backwards. Wallen just barely hanging off of the cliff here. Ats being sent flying the furthest and vanishing into the pit here. The huntress's companion getting slammed against the wall. This one holding his ground the best, catching on the rail. This one gets sent back a little further. And all of the eyes close.
Okay, real quick. So, what I miss in that little few seconds I had to go?
Oh, you
She
did
got
miss a pretty big
knocked
part.
out of the... Yeah, that's why I was like, okay, what just happened? I know she got knocked out of the thing, and then the blue guy grabbed the keyblade. What happened after that?
Indeed.
Just real
Would
quick.
someone want to fill her in? Baggy, like, looks over to Fenro or Nick, or Sawyer or someone, and
Sorry, who?
sorry, yeah. If you guys want to do it in character, I can just briefly explain though.
Yeah, that blue lady kicked that other lady's ass.
No, yeah, I got that. What happened after that? I closed my eyes.
Well, why are you closing your eyes now? Oh, you see how the eyes closed now. I guess you were with them.
Yeah, I got
And,
confused.
Seems like some sort of energy blast or something knocked them all out. They're not really holding on very well. Might want to go help them.
They got it.
I mean, here's the way I look at it.
Fine, your thoughts?
And Baggy, just to clarify, it seemed as though they had this, seemingly this puzzle to open the gate solved. But this, blue version of this huntress tossed her out, and thus disrupted it, causing the middle eye to send a shockwave of force out at all of them, which knocked them back, leaving one nearly stranded, hanging by one hand off the cliff, sending Ats off of this cliff and down into the depths.
How far of a down into the depths does that look?
You guys climbed. This is, as I said, you went into, the prismatic pass,
Yeah.
which was more like a prismatic peaks at one point. Once you guys climbed up high enough.
Is he still falling?
Yeah, and I would say it's
Hey,
at this
I
climactic moment that you guys could make it to like the end of the bridge if you guys were rushing that way.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
can I make try to make a dive?
Yeah, Sawyer, if you wanna. You got wings, right?
Yeah. Try to catch him before he hits the ground.
Ooh, okay, absolutely.
Hmm.
Let me
This guy
think.
over here, right?
Oh, there's
No,
one
other,
that fell straight up, like missed grabbing the edge, and then there's one that
Oh.
is hanging from the edge.
Wait,
The one that
but
fell straight
the
up is
guy-
over this side.
Okay, yeah, I'm going for that guy.
All right, this would be because you can increase. I believe you can increase flight speed if you decide to just drop your wings right and like Superman dive down.
Yeah, I'll definitely go faster.
So this would be a matter of like how well can you execute that maneuver.
So, because this is all like open space, right?
Yes.
Because I mean, assuming I go straight down, obviously I'll roll for it. But assuming I go straight down, my idea is I swoop down and catch him, and then with the momentum I have from going down, I like even flat out, and I kind of go across before looping back up, if that makes sense.
All right, nice.
Essentially making a U. So that's my little strategy, because this is I got the space to do it.
All right, good deal. I would say making it to him is probably not an issue, but I will want a check on the catch.
Is George still on the ground here?
He is on the ground, yeah.
George is taking a help action.
What? No. Sorry, I'm sorry. You can either have a penalty and have him on your back and have him have the help action, which would just cancel out.
Oh, it's just
Or
advantage.
you can
Take it at
leave
neutral with George or neutral without George.
No, he's next to me.
No, he's next to you in terms of space, but not verticality. Not within 5 feet.
Okay.
That's so good.
What do I have to roll for it, Mitch?
Let's see. I think so for a catch with that kind of
That'd be
velocity, it'd be athletics.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Not acrobatics.
No,
I have the
'cause
same-
it's
I have the
not gonna
same
be-
modifier
It's not
for
going to
both.
be based on how dexterous you are trying to catch another human being. That's a lot of weight to try and grab.
I always think of acrobatics the wrong way in terms of this.
dang, rolling hot at the start here. Absolutely. So you, as I said, your wings fold. You dive head first. The wind biting at your eyes and face as the cold wind that was already blowing hard and fast is now even faster against your skin, freezing to the bone. But you put that shock out of your mind to focus on the rescue of Ats. You see him fallen, and make a perception check real quick. I want to see how well you're viewing things as you're doing this.
Is this as I'm going down?
Mm-hmm.
Or is this while I'm still up here? Okay, never mind. I was about to move George and do that, but if I'm already going down.
No. Sorry, this is as you're falling.
Okay. The perception.
A 19. Okay, so you see pretty well.
I'm using all my good rolls here.
The look on At's face isn't one of panic
Status if you roll bad
or fear. You see, before he notices you, it's simply a look of concentration. And then once he does see you, it's a look of curiosity. Once you get to him, he reaches out a hand as he's fallen, so that it's easy enough to, the classic like clasping hands meme type thing.
And then I scoop him up like a damsel.
All right, tight. You grab the hand and scoop him up. And with one mighty flap of your wings, you halt the fall. And then from there, push your way upwards back to the edge of the cliff.
No, I was saying I go from here to here. So, like, I go down and then I use the momentum back here. So I throw him off over here.
Sorry, where again?
Where Sawyer is.
So
like
Where
on
is
the
it? All the way over there.
Like
Okay.
I was saying, like I looped down and I used the momentum.
Real quick, let me just check how far that is. See if that's reasonable,
I mean, if it's longer, I can do it over there.
That is
Like, if it
pretty
makes more
darn
sense.
far. I would give you like 100 feet. You could drop him on the bridge here.
Okay, yeah, that works. I'm gonna do that and then fly back over to meet up with the rest of the party.
All right, you leave him there.
Yeah, I have nothing to say to him.
Good deal. All right.
I just wanted to save him.
Yeah, you see as he like lets out a and works to catch his breath after an adrenaline rush like that.
Kind of fly off before he even says thank you.
And now I would like everybody to roll initiative.
I was gonna ask how I know Plague Doctor, dude.
Yes, before we get into initiative, I can answer that for sure. You won't need to roll history because you rolled history another time to remember this individual. Any ideas?
Is that wrong?
Oh, it's where is it?
Novel.
Crowdenheim?
Crowdenheim, indeed. You recall that the mask that Wallen is wearing was that of his father's. It's distinct and clear.
I need to
It's
start
a
taking
white
better notes.
Plague Doctor's mask rather than the traditional black that comes from Plague Doctor's pay.
Yeah, in my notes I have family is plague, and I didn't know what that meant, but now I know what that means.
Mm-hmm. And he is currently dangling there. We have everybody else prone where they are at. So I'm going to give all of them disadvantage here on initiative. And then...
Because we all rolled bad.
And due to the mechanics of the door here, door don't got dexterity. So it is going to be at the top of the turn order. Right, at the top of the round is when the door will technically go.
Have
Like
I
before
used
Baggy or
Vision
after
Blessing?
Baggy?
Before Baggy.
Okay.
And I hope like that sounds fair, right? It's this isn't exactly a traditional monster.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Because we could also play it that it goes at the... Actually, I will change my mind on that. It would be more fair if something with 0 dexterity would automatically go at the end of the turn order.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking. We'll play it like that. Hey, yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. So I'm gonna roll initiative for it anyways. This is its little token. We'll put it in the corner. Alright, booyah. Got an 18? Wait, how? It literally has no dexterity. Oh wait,
Just rolls a
sorry.
fat
Still rolled a d20.
Yeah.
It has a 0 in dexterity. Wouldn't that... Or I guess the modifier can't go into negatives, can it?
No, modifier can't go into negatives.
Then
If
what's...
its dexterity is 0, that'd be -5.
Oh yeah.
And what happened here?
0 dex.
Why,
You rolled a
It's
23.
at 0 dex modifier, so that's like
It's
a 10 or 11.
Maybe... Oh, yeah, if I put it at a 1... Sorry, that was what was wrong. Thank you. I'd set it to 0 instead of 1.
I don't think it can be
I feel like-
0.
I feel like it
flat.
needs some
Yeah, no.
dexterity to move your joints.
So it'd be at 13 for its roll then.
Alright, Oh, regardless, it's going at the bottom.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, nice.
Rod, you forgot to click your token.
Can
Also,
George take a
Drew's
help
not-
action for initiative?
I mean, you've got to explain how he's helping. Help action isn't just a end-all be-all. There has to be a way you're helping.
Also, did you say it preemptively?
No.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Also,
It's okay.
once again, how would he help with initiative?
He'd help me focus.
Nope, how... That's...
Yes. Yes. Initiative can be focus. If you're not focused, you're probably gonna be the last
yeah,
one
but
to
how
move.
is he gonna help you focus? What's he
He
doing?
claps his hands. It's like, wake up. It's better
But-
than nothing, and it is
Wait,
it is not the worst explanation we've had for things. I'm just saying.
But then you have, like, the issue of he is clapping his hands as somebody else is throwing a punch already.
Yeah, that could like help me snap out of it, and then if I'm fast enough to react to the punch, that's a
You're already
different
punching.
matter.
The attack's already happened.
No, you said he's doing a punch. You didn't say he punched me. And if he punched me, it would wake me up too.
I'm pretty sure a punch is less than 6 seconds.
If it's a believable explanation, you're just bigoted.
No, we're not bigoted. We just want you to play in a fair space with the rest of us.
I have a
bigoted.
monkey.
And regardless,
Okay.
we'd have to go over this come the next combat, because this one
Yeah.
it's already said and
Oh,
done.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, give me a sec. I'm
Unless we have
finishing
no
up rolling.
howler.
Oh, true, actually.
I'm not gonna say anything.
What? You can't say that and then not actually say anything, Twonk. That's
No,
not
I'm
how
not
it
gonna
works.
say anything.
Alright, well then shut up. Stop talking.
Okay.
That made me think of a bit of just walking into a room and then just saying I'm not going to say anything to the nearest person and giving no explanation for it.
Pullman literally did that yesterday.
I kind of love that.
just
And he
start
killed like
gaslighting people.
19 people.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
My other question, before we get going here, what did we decide on Jerma and the two lovelies, Gleeman and Petri?
I thought they were still with
I
us.
think they're
I
pretty
don't
neat.
think
They are still,
we decided on anything past that.
I believe so.
I don't
yeah.
remember. I honestly don't remember what happened to them.
I'm pretty sure they are just still with you guys. The only member that has left now is Rory.
It was Rory, yeah.
All right, good deal. Nice, and we still got the three companions. Jerma, just to give you like an idea of what these three are are feeling, Jerma has been hiding behind, I would say either Rod or Fenro the whole time, like doing that classic. Does everybody know Usopp from One Piece?
Oh yeah.
Doing a classic one Usopp move where like he's trying to act and pretend that he's super macho and and plenty brave, but at the same time, and he's yelling out those types of remarks, but at the same time he's cowering behind Rod or Fenro.
Yeah, that's looking at me.
Perri, has a doesn't actually speak, so you can only read her facial expressions, but she seems ready and prepared. And Gleam looks immensely curious as to all that is going on. All right, cool. Let me roll their initiatives as well.
What are the stats for the anchor that I got? Is it the same?
At the moment, yes. Did you attune to it?
I don't think
we haven't had time, really, have we?
No, we haven't had a long rest, I don't think.
Then it is just a mace at the moment.
But we didn't even do short rest.
No, that's just a 1d8 plus 4.
Yeah, I would say like use the same stats as the Warhammer for now.
Okay.
Perri.
But y'all, I'm drinking apple juice. I'm sorry.
My God, really?
You're welcome.
Better be. I'm drinking the forbidden juice.
I can't believe this.
What's up?
I thought Cole kicked this habit. He's out here drinking fucking apple juice.
Oh.
I said orange juice.
You said apple.
Wait, you said apple.
Oh, did I?
You did say apple juice.
Lying here again.
Orange?
I legitimately don't like orange juice, and I'm drinking it right now.
You're just wrong.
Wait, so the sorry was to yourself.
It's all we had!
The sorry was really directed at you, right?
Yeah.
I'm drinking a better drink.
It's
called green tea.
Oh, wow. That is nice. I haven't drunk orange juice at night, I think, in forever. I don't think I've ever done that.
I don't think that's an activity that is...
It's evil.
Yeah, well, it's not an activity. It's just a thing that happens. I'm not like spending time only drinking apple juice, orange juice.
You can't drink it at night. You can't drink it at night.
We don't need an intervention.
I used to drink it pretty regularly.
Not at 3 a.m.
I used to drink it pretty regularly at night.
I drink it every morning that I have it. Wait, Nathaniel, you drank it at night?
Oh yeah, but it was never just orange juice.
Oh, I get that.
So, I don't know if that really counts. I feel like at that point it's a different drink. I feel like at that point it's screwdriver.
If alcohol is bad for me, why can't I function without it?
Oh.
If alcohol was bad for me, why would the man down the street just sell it?
All I'm saying is that it is like the worst kind of juice, except for what's that one that's like really bad? The one everybody thinks is bad.
Grape soda?
Grapefruit juice, yeah.
I was really close.
I love pomegranate juice.
Pomegranate juice
tight. I can't have it a ton, like all the time, but like
there's so many types of juice that are really good, and orange juice is just not one of them.
I love, dude. The one thing about orange juice is if you go downstairs as soon as you wake up, pour a glass of orange juice and chug it.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's just
but if you drink it at night, now you better watch out.
No, it doesn't matter when I drink it. This shit sucks.
You're drinking it at night.
The only reason why I do that is, which pro tip here, pro life tip. If you go as soon as you wake up.
Sorry, I only want a pro-choice tip.
All right. If you go this is a choice you can make. If you go downstairs, as soon as you wake up, or go to your kitchen, as soon as you wake up, pour a glass of like ice cold something, like any kind of drink, just not alcohol, obviously. And chug it.
Why not?
And chug it. It improves brain function, right? Drinking
I don't
something
want to
super
talk
cold.
about.
Are you telling
right
me
away
alcohol
is
doesn't
really
improve
nice.
brain function?
I don't want to talk about what I did during the pandemic. I'm not proud of it, but we're not going to discuss that here. You know, we're talking about orange juice.
Yeah, I
And
was
morning
just
drink.
talking about a nice morning routine tip.
Yeah, nobody would ever drink first thing in.
That's untrue.
No, it's unholy. We don't do that. That's
All right.
heretic behavior.
Who's ready
to get
for
it going?
Who's ready for battle? We're gonna switch. No, we'll keep Frozen Waste. Ambiance on, but then I'm thinking we pull up a song now. Any requests?
For an icy gate battle. Play. I don't know if there's a special
Icy
song that
gay
plays.
battle?
Yeah, because I can think of 2 battles where you fight doors. One from Tales of Symphonia and one from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, there's one from Chrono Cross. It's a door
Yeah.
fight in Chrono Cross. It's just the boss theme, but it's still a door fight. It's technically a door.
All that matters.
Run across boss Dario.
Definitely not Dario.
Dorio? I'm not
I
seeing.
mean, it's like a door mimic, I think, but it's kind of a door.
Door mimic. Is it Viper Manor?
It's in Viper Manor. Like, that's where
Hey, welcome back to Let's Play
Oh,
Chrono Cross.
hey.
Today,
I don't think that's I don't think that's fair use.
It's probably. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's just some dude's Let's Play. Granted, sorry, I don't mean any offense. But I don't think you can get copyright struck for a hey everybody, how's it going?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I will say there was a time Let's Play got copyright struck.
It did. I mean,
it did get struck before.
By Fox Media. Because they literally stole the video off YouTube, used it in a Family Guy episode, and then copyright struck the original upload.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
a true fact for you.
No, what about the Ice Age 2 video game Let's Play from Famicom Reds that got copyright struck?
Copyright struck?
Yeah.
I heard your blunder. You cannot escape it.
Well,
I tried to
want
make
me to point out your blunder?
I tried to make a protein shake today, and it came out chunky. It wasn't very cool. The milk was very bad.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry.
I hadn't considered
That's-
that an
I
option
mean,
when you
that's
said that.
that's just awful.
I was
already
over
put in
here
the
like,
frozen
man, this guy
stuff.
really just needs to mix his powder up more. It didn't occur to me that you were using bad milk.
No. I mean, it came out fast. I didn't even put the powder in yet, but I had already put in the frozen strawberries, and then I was putting in the milk, and then it just started slopping out, and it wasn't. I had to dump it.
I feel like at that point you just gotta pretend it's yogurt, save that money.
I would throw up.
Yeah, I mean, if you choose to.
No.
Yeah,
Just
you
don't.
tell him.
Just don't throw up. Simply don't get sick. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Makes sense.
You know the secret?
A treasure hunt?
I feel like even mentioning that goes against some sort of copyright.
Yeah. You think they ever found any more?
What? What secrets?
No.
Oh, I know they
well,
found more secrets.
Are we good to go?
Yeah, we ready to fight?
we are. Everything is set. Baggy, it is your turn.
Alright.
Hang on. Sorry, I hate to do this again.
Never
Everybody
mind.
roll me perception real quick, just at the top of the round. I have a couple of things that if you
spell
roll
that?
well enough. Is this gonna be another? Okay, what does Fenro and? Hey, no. Okay, Baggy, let's go.
Let's
do we need to
see
do
if
it
I can
for
blow
fun?
me out of the
Yeah.
water, though.
May as well. Yeah. Yeah. Still.
Fantasy.
Gosh dang it. Finewynn.
What does
your
Finro
eyes.
and Fine notice?
Eyes are insane. So, something that you notice, and Baggy, you particularly notice it because there's Dwarvish written, like carved, written into this pillar
Oh,
here.
hey, I can speak that.
And it
I'll
seems
read
to
it.
just be jotted down. Like, it's not something that was put there a long time ago, ancient ruin type writing. This is just some dude who has written Dwarvish there. So, and Fenro and Fine, you do notice it, but you're unable to read it. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna send out. Hold up, I need to put this over here. I'm gonna send out what it says to you, Meg. This is what it says. You can take a second to read it. And then what you also notice, guys, is under each of the eyes appears to be something written in an ancient form of abyssal, as well as something in between these two eyes in Dwarvish, and something on this pillar also in Dwarvish, but you're too far away to actually garner any details about it. But as soon as you move within range, I can tell you what those say.
Can you ping that again?
Oh, under every eye, there's
Oh,
something
okay.
written in abyssal, and then in between these two eyes, the teal and the in the green, something is written in Dwarvish, and then on this pillar, there's another thing like carved in Dwarvish. The abyssal looks like something that was a part of this construction back when it was in its heyday many moons ago, but the Dwarvish, as I said, is seems to just be like on the fly carved out.
Yeah. Some random freak.
Yeah, some dungeon crawler.
All right.
Alright. We good to gooch?
Yeah, Baggy, you're good.
Alright. So, first thing, free action. Maggie's gonna yell out to all the peeps. Hey, y'all, looks like y'all need a hand. We're gonna help you out. Just try and fill me in. What specifically do we need doing?
All right, who exactly are you directing this at?
I'm gonna direct it at, Mr. Mustache over here.
All right. This guy goes,
I'm gonna just move 20 feet first. And then
I glad you showed up. Honestly, I don't know that we can take this thing on ourselves. We've tried and been trying at it for hours, but we can't seem to solve the damn thing. None of us speak bloody abyssal.
Oh, y'all just need somebody to speak abyssal?
Yes.
Hey, I got y'all.
Oh. Praise God. Oh. You see, he seems to be a little relieved at that, but it's about all you can converse at the moment.
Alright.
Fair enough.
Second thing. Sawyer,
Alright.
I'm gonna leave you in charge of that red circle.
Okay, do you want me to shoot it?
No, I think we need to get in there. I think they're on the right track there, but I'm pretty sure that circle gonna be doing fire damage, if anything, so I think you're probably best for it.
Should I take
alright.
George?
Next up,
Did not
I
answer
think
the
it's
question.
time for a little bit of drug use.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let's go.
So, just I'm gonna check our DMs because I need a fucking reminder on Deluge. I need to actually just pin that too. Where is it?
True. I may be able
there's
to
so much Apple
grab it
House
here,
talk.
as it should be.
There we go. I got it.
Oh, nice. I was about to say I have the I have it here
I got
again.
it pinned now too. So, actually, do I wanna? I'm trying to think. It may actually be overkill on that. So I think instead. Follow-up question for you over there, lady that got tossed. Was that circle cold? What'd you say?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna. I know talking is usually a free action, but I think for this fight in particular, I would say you can do one. Yeah.
Okay. Well then. Instead of that, I'll pop one more Zygu. Get
Alright,
that
cool.
3 hours of cold immunity out.
Yeah, and as do you just ingest it, or how do you apply?
Good old teeth rubbing.
Yeah, and as you do, there's that so cold it burns type of sensation in your gums, which is unusual. You felt this only once before. That burns in a searing cold for about 5 seconds before suddenly you don't feel anything in your mouth. And suddenly, all the cold that was biting at you in this bitter, Ventraloom environment goes away. You don't feel heat, you don't feel cold. You simply feel, you don't feel like the weather effects at all.
I can do 20 here instead. Okay. I'm just changing what square I'm. Actually, no. We'll just stay there and then move 10, and I think that's all I can do on this turn. All right.
You see, as the other ranger here, as you approach, snaps at you, looks at you, down at the key, and then back at you, and seems to lower into a stance.
The invisi one or the weird blue one, gotcha.
Yeah, this one.
Alright. So then I am going to... Oh, actually, let me just double check, make sure. What is the recharge on this? Okay. Actually, we are gonna do something, whack. And that is... use our action surge.
Okay.
And use that to take the dash action. To run up and grab that, keyblade.
Alright, tight.
Stay there so I don't trigger an attack of opportunity, but hold tight on that keyblade.
With that dash, you make it to the Keyblade before this double can pick it up. As you go to pick it up, you notice that there are eyes placed at the top and at the hilt that resemble much the same as the eyes on the wall. But these ones are monochromatic. And so, as soon as you pick it up, you feel a connection to this door. Seems as though the door powers whatever this item is. I'm gonna go ahead and put this item into your or show the item to you,
Yeah.
so that you can be looking at it as we go.
And that is fully all I got. Hey.
All right, booyah. All right, do you see it?
Oh yeah.
Bingo.
Oh, let me just. Okay, that's what I figured. All right. Yep. That's the turn.
All right, tight. All right, it is Wallen's turn. He's gonna, as I said, he's hanging from one gloved hand, and is going to try to rend himself up, which is going to be a strength check on his part.
He's got this. I'm sure he's strong.
Yeah, the guy in the witch doctor hat looks super strong.
A 14 does it. Yeah, with his action, he manages to scramble back up, and
That wasn't like a strong pull.
seems to be catching his breath. He's caught the cliff with one hand and his hat with the other hand. So as he rends himself up, elbow by elbow, he places the hat back on his head as well, and kind of shimmies to shake his cape out. Oh, but that's gonna be his turn. Wait. Just gonna do this real quick. All right, Rod. You're still wearing the helmet, right?
Yeah, I'm always wearing the helmet.
Okay, cool. Never mind then. Oh wait, sorry. I skipped Gleam. Frick. Gleam is gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Just gonna run up to here. Prepare herself. Kind of, I think she may back up one, go against this pillar here. Stay on the side, keep vigilant. Now, Rodrigo, it is your turn.
I'm gonna just move here. Here. I don't
Alright.
really know what's going on because I don't speak any of those languages. And I don't want to throw torches at this door because that has not gone well in the past.
What do you mean?
Well, what if
That
they
is-
get, like...
That has
what if
only
it-
worked for us.
I mean, I could. I have 9 torches. I could do it.
When has throwing torches ever gone wrong for us?
That is
I'm
actually
saying.
true.
That's true. You know, it hasn't ever gone like. Well, I mean, it did. I guess it depends on how you look at it.
True.
I'll do it for the meme.
We've never suffered adverse effects from throwing torches.
I'll do it.
Other
Why
than
not?
losing torches.
I
Yeah,
feel like that's a good
exactly.
baseline. You know, figuring out if melee attacks are even going to do anything.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah,
I can
actually,
rationalize this.
That is viable.
Character sheet. I'm
Or
throwing
that's
a torch.
reasonable, yo.
I gotta test these waters. You know, what if it's the best tactic?
Yeah, what if this door is weak to torches?
Yeah, what if it's just a fucking door? You know, it looks weird. It's all illusion magic, man. What is throwing a torch again? What kind of roll is that?
This would be improvised weapon, right? Plus fire damage. If it hits.
Nobody ever said a lit torch.
Oh no,
Oh.
it's lit.
Okay.
Let's not put words into Nathaniel's mouth.
Indeed,
Well, first
I
of all,
apologize.
check yourself. Second of all, you're absolutely correct. That is what I was. That's what I was talking about.
Hell yeah.
Why wouldn't I light it? You know, I gotta get all my bases.
So this would just be, I'm pretty sure, just a d20 plus your strength. Right, because you haven't gotten proficient in torches. Although I feel like an argument could be drawn that you have gained proficiency with torches, with torch throwing. But we'll go just straight torch plus your strength modifier. So just a d20 plus your strength.
A torch is an improvised weapon, right?
Yeah.
It's a 15.
And a 15. You light this torch. You pull it from your satchel at your side. Wrap the wrappings around it. Put the oil on, and then light the fire. Rear back, and everybody sees as this red flare makes its way. Were you aiming at the eye, the door,
Oh, yeah.
one of the other eyes?
The pupil of the big old creepy eye.
Gotcha, okay. It gets to about here, and then hits some kind of barrier.
It's some kind of barrier.
Roll insight real quick.
You roll a dex saving throw.
24, nice. You believe that this was simply a part of the door's defenses, and that it, with enough torches or a good enough torch throw, you could break through it. Or perhaps a different type of attack as well.
Only torches.
Only torches.
That is actually, you know.
I've thought about it. I think torches will work.
In other words, the door can be attacked, for sure.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
The
That...
most effective way is going to be with torches, though.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That's a given.
That's
Come on.
gonna end my turn.
I mean,
Didn't
like,
say that.
who doesn't have dark vision? What else are we going to use torches for?
Yeah, I mean, it's not very useful.
True. I do like.
Also,
I feel
I'm
like
sure-
there hasn't been any other D&D campaign where torches have been better utilized. In my opinion, in my
Exactly.
humble opinion.
I mean, yeah, no.
'Cause they're
90%
an
of the
item
time,
that
I
get
feel like
forgotten
People are like, oh, I gotta
too
get
often.
tossed torches. Too much weight.
Yeah, they get just looked over. They get looked past too often.
It's
You guys
so
are making the
sad,
difference.
honestly. With your help, you can save a torch from disuse. Fucking in an arms of an angel.
Jerma rushes forward. Ah! I've got your back, Rod! Yeah! He pulls out. Click. Pulls out the little toy gun. Fires off three little blasts at the eye. Let's see.
And beats the game.
Where's Jerma? he does win. That's just how it goes. Where's his thing? There it is.
Dang.
Yo, double 16s? Homie.
Dang.
And max damage, homie.
Wait, sorry, not 3. It is just 1 blast. I apologize. But unfortunately, the blast, the little tiny ethereal bullet flies forward and boom, hits the barrier as well, and tink, tink, tink. Or sorry, evaporates because it's not a real bullet. Apologies. But the bullet
It's not?
evaporates.
It's just a spray painted Glock.
It's like I knew I shouldn't have shopped at Toys R Us for my catalyst. And he then, pretends to reload it and goes, "Cover me, Rod."
Rod is
Yeah, so nicely, you got to.
looking for another torch. That is his reply.
And need more
Nice.
torch.
Goes, goes, yeah, that's good. That's good. Alright, Finewynn's turn. Will be controlled by Fenro or Mag? Or Coleman or Mag?
How many torches does Fine have at this point?
This is a good question.
I feel like
did
we
restock.
restocked them.
We restocked with the family of Rory.
Well, you know, the last thing we heard was that we should do the same thing we did last time.
Yeah.
Technically.
Obviously, that's what Finewynn would have wanted.
Says he only has
That is
4.
true.
So you're saying that he got back to 10 or 20?
10,
Yeah.
yeah.
Alright, tight.
Because we asked them, I just don't think we updated it because I think
I mean,
Yeah.
he was
I
there.
mean, by the end of this,
I mean, by the end of it, it'll be 4 again, but you know.
That's right.
Yeah,
I
we're
just
updated
liquidating.
it back to 10.
Awesome. Yeah, he's gonna do the same thing.
No
Okay.
perception checks. No enchanted bows.
Dude, why would you need to make a check when you can throw a torch? Let's be real
Yeah.
here.
Where's fine? 30 feet? Alright, we're getting there. Oh, that's a pretty far throw. Fine got those? Barg? Do you know?
What?
Does
What?
Finewynn have a throw that far?
How far is it?
55 feet?
Oh, dang.
No.
Ooh.
I mean, yes, technically, but not without disadvantage.
Oh, shoot. Your
um,
throw rod was from 40 feet.
I
didn't-
have
I didn't even realize
good
that.
strength.
You do
30
have good
feet
strength.
is effective
18.
range for
And you,
throwing by
granted, you
default.
didn't break his armor AC, so that's okay.
Yeah, no
I
damage.
mean, also, what, it was... Oh, no, we only did the one roll. But yeah, it'd be at disadvantage. He could still make the attack.
Yeah, he'll be doing that.
Unless he can get closer, in which case he could do it without disadvantage.
Nah, it's his full distance.
And then, yeah. You can do it. Just...
Sorry, I just found, like my head was leaking. Like water.
Excuse me?
Huh?
Why did you let that happen?
Again? No, I'm just kidding. What do you mean
Yeah,
it was
honestly,
leaking water?
again.
Or
I don't
do
know,
you
I
mean...
just touched my head and it was wet.
Okay. I was about to say, like, you don't mean, like, tears or something. I wanted to make
No,
sure that...
I'm
Okay.
just
No,
crying.
blood.
Oh, yeah, I was
Almost
like, shoot,
crying.
man. Is this...
It's actually just blood.
Oh, no.
Okay, so where do I do improvised weapon? Or is it just like a
It'd be literally a D20
D20 plus strength mod?
He can do strength or dex because it's
Okay,
a
dex
ranged
mod.
attack. And
Is
then
it
you're gonna
feasible for
roll
him to
that
shoot
twice.
the torch from his bow, though?
Yeah, is that possible?
How
no.
big is the torch?
Oh, true.
Or could he light an arrow on fire?
He would never do that.
He
That'd
would
be a
never.
waste of a
that's-
torch.
You're
That's
fucking
true.
talking wild out of your ass with that one.
I'm so sorry.
Friendly
You're absolutely
And then
right.
rolled again.
That's never
Friendly
been
ro-
done in history.
What if instead of making the torch an arrow, you put the torch on the arrow, and
You
then simply
just-
delivered the torch from an arrow?
Coleman, did you just say 17 plus 4?
What?
No, rolled a
His
1d20.
roll. He got
The
21.
and got
But
You did
a
roll a
21.
disadvantage.
1d20.
Oh,
You gotta
okay.
roll again.
What? Oh,
No. Nick actually
gosh,
did
sorry.
too.
You actually fooled me, Nick.
Oh no!
No, the disadvantage.
No!
Okay. I
Just
was-
simply too
sorry.
far. No man can do that.
The reason why I got pretty hyped about that first roll because this next one does not hit.
No.
In fact, it actually just falls short. You see it fall about here and
Honestly,
spin on the kind of icy exterior here.
Honestly,
gonna
you,
turn
you
around.
hit yourself.
No.
And yell, write
it's not
that down.
bad.
It'd be like a nat 1.
Mitch, I would like to give a friendly reminder. I'll be having to go to bed in 19 minutes. So
In 19 minutes?
whatever happens, Sawyer.
So
does
you're losing
not
some
throw-
torches too.
Yeah,
That's what it
I was
sounds
gonna say,
like.
Sawyer is a little less generous with his torches, but
We can. I'm also fine with doing a shorter session if everyone else is okay with that.
it'll be the same deal for me next week. So I don't.
Yeah,
wanna
if
do
it's
some
gonna be the
recurring
same
thing. Yeah,
every week.
if you guys want to finish a combat without me, I do not mind.
Okay.
I would honestly like to keep going.
Heck
Especially
yeah.
since
I
we
wasn't-
missed last week and the week
Yeah.
before that was really short.
I wasn't trying to say we should stop. I was saying that I just will be leaving.
Oh, not at all. That was me asking.
Yeah.
All right, well, cool. Let's keep this going then.
If I come back and George fell off the cliff by someone else's volition, I'll
Wait,
be
wait,
upset.
wait.
Wait, what do you mean?
So what you're saying is Sawyer is not going to throw his torches, right?
No, Sawyer will, but he's a little less generous with them. He has fireballs to spare as well.
Okay, but what?
Why would you shoot fireballs? It'd be a waste.
George
Wait,
will.
wait.
George will take the torches and throw them if given to him. Yes.
No. What if Sawyer didn't use the torches?
Then he doesn't use the torches.
Good. All right, cool. Glad we're on the same page there.
Is he? What is the plan?
We're just trying to be extremely transparent.
Is he? Is Sawyer gonna give the torches to Rod?
No,
Well, he's not gonna use them.
I'm just saying, you got a friend who could throw those torches for you.
You can, if you want to give my torches to Finewynn, go
No,
ahead.
it's George.
Oh yeah, okay, so I was right the first time.
George is gonna be throwing those torches.
Yeah.
Well, with
Alright,
that,
we can
can
resume.
Fine. I mean, do we want to have Fine do anything else? Maybe perception
No.
to see if he can read the. Okay.
He turns around and yells, "Write that down."
Have him read
Somebody
this
write
thing.
that down.
Mitch, what would Fine need to roll to read the Abyssal? Because he does speak Abyssal, right?
Yeah, he does.
I'm
He's
like 98% sure.
I'm certain he does.
He's like 50
pretty
feet
far
away. He does.
Guys,
But that's within eyesight technically, but I don't know.
we could do a perception at disadvantage.
Just do perception. The DC will just be a little bit high.
Okay.
Is it
Okay.
really high?
Wow. Okay.
Unfortunately,
That's
Tight.
what it was.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Which so I'll
Got
say
good
which
glasses.
which eye is he reading, or is he reading? There's also Abyssal script at the very top, like above the main eye.
Probably at the
very
top.
Yeah.
Above the main eye?
The main eye. The big
Yeah.
one, yeah.
yeah, the main eye above, Bissell, yeah.
Yeah, the main one. Above. That's top.
The one that talks.
Excellent.
The dominant one.
At the very top, it simply reads, Experimentation Facility 1, and then some dashes, and then the phrase, the work is not yet, and then a blank,
Wait.
and a period. What's
Are dashes-
curious about this to find... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna ask if are dashes different in another language?
Yeah, they are. Hyphens are in Abyssal. Actually look like plus signs, as wild as it is.
They're
It makes math really
Yeah.
confusing when going from Abyssal to Common.
they're little pentagrams. It's kind of cute.
Little smiley faces.
Abyssal is just elite speak.
Yo.
I just like I like to think
Abyssal is fake
hyphens.
Latin.
I like to think. I was gonna say I like to think hyphens in Spanish are just tildes.
Yeah. I guess that's fair. Spanish is kind of squiggly English.
Yeah.
All right, so
Anyway, what's important about this to find?
So the curious thing to find here, and he's done a lot of work on learning as many languages as he can. So he understands language quite well, and he understands how sentences are constructed. This one, you might think at first that the blank there is simply due to, right, this being a ruins, right? It's could be something that's just faded and there is simply missing words. But this is different. It is intentionally, there is intentionally left a space before the end of the sentence, meaning that there is a word that should be there that was left blank by the initial carvers. And again, the phrase is, the work is not yet, and then there's nothing, and a period.
It's a naughty word. They couldn't say it.
Where a word should be.
Mom was watching him carve it.
The work is not yet. I mean, the obvious one is finished, but you know, they didn't even finish that.
The work is not yet fuck.
You got it.
The work is not yet epic.
No, actually, I'm changing it to that. But no, actually, I mean, there is no, like, genuinely, there's no incorrect or correct answer here.
Okay.
It's, yeah, simply left blank there.
So it could be fuck.
Unless you could find, the person that carved it.
I would like
how
to
would that happen?
investigate for the person that carved
What are
it.
the
Yeah, that'd be weird. Perception check for the person who carved it.
It was the eye. The eye carved it.
Plot twist, Fenro, it was you.
I knew it.
What?
Imagine.
All right, so that
actually
is that's what Finewynn can read for the time being. Experimentation Facility 1. The work is not yet blank.
Well then, now that it's Fenro time,
Hey yo.
and rowing the boat, I can't go diagonally straight to the side here, right?
You could leap that gap, maybe.
I mean, I still can't even make it over to those people anyway. I was gonna go try to help, like, Crowdenheim and them, but they're too far.
It's a dash action.
And yeah, she the huntress lady especially is like on her side, kind of curled up, having had braced for being sent flying.
Is
Yeah.
he crying?
No.
Damn.
Can I do an insight check to see if she's like how she, or not insight, but how she's holding up in terms of health? Is she nearing death's door? How's she feeling?
That could be perception.
This is a history check.
An 8
Rough.
looks fine. I mean, she's on the ground, which is what
Right.
gives you pause and makes you think that she may need help, certainly. But with how burly her coat is, how big the hood is, with the many with the big fluffiness like around the hood, it's just hard to tell. You're not sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to move in next to Jerma. Jerma,
Oh, hey.
John's banana.
He's still pretending to load his little revolver toy.
All right, how we holding up, Jerma?
Oh, good, real good. I hit the eye. I hit it. I did, and I got him good.
All right, good job. I mean, is that our plan? Just to attack the eye?
Oh, actually, I don't know. Is
Rod?
Rod's the leader, right? Or wait, I might have had that wrong.
No, Rod's the leader, absolutely.
Okay. All right, good. Then, yeah, I saw him run up and start going ham. So I was gonna do the same. But I could change plans, probably.
That's our plan here. Just throw torches at this thing.
Rod's gonna
no,
look
I
at
know
the
you- I
open
mean-
bag.
You make a good point. There's a lot of something written all over the walls there that could, and it's a door. I know that. I know doors don't usually have big eyes in them, but it is a door.
I see there's some abyssal written there. I can't quite make it out from here, but I'm gonna try to get in closer, and then I'll read that all out for you.
Oh man, that'd be
now.
good.
For now, though, I'm just gonna do a quick,
And hey, what about all those guys? Aren't they? I mean, we were talking about it on the way. Aren't these guys like?
Bad guy.
These guys bad guys.
Yeah, but like,
I don't want them to hear, so I'm whispering.
Don't worry, Jerma. Listen, we'll help them out here. Maybe they just leave after this because they're in, too much trouble and they gotta go recoup. So maybe we help them out here.
And once they get a look at our skills, my blaster and your crazy talent, healing and blasting and pitchfork and stuff, they won't even think twice.
Exactly.
Good. All right. Whew. Let's do it.
I'm reading something real quick. Okay, so I have a really stupid question here.
Hey, shoot.
So for thaumaturgy, it says here you alter the appearance of your eyes for 1 minute. I'm assuming that just means it becomes like lizard eyes or something like that. I don't make them larger.
Huh.
I mean,
You just turn your eyes into coins.
I'm thinking if I can make my eyes bigger.
Does it literally just say you alter the appearance of your eyes?
Yeah.
yeah.
'Cause I feel like you can take a lot of creative liberty with that.
Yeah.
No, the thaumaturgy as a spell is taking creative liberty.
Also,
Like-
if we are altering things as it is, I'm assuming this door is locked, so it's not an unlocked door that I can swing open.
Could you theoretically make it so that your eyes are just eye sockets and they just look
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
But it only lasts for a
thaumaturgy
minute.
is-
You'd have to keep recasting it.
Yeah, so long as you can maintain like that kind of focus, and I'm sure like it takes some kind of mental capacity to keep a spell like that going, even though it is just a cantrip.
Yeah.
It takes it would
Dude, do
get
you-
exhausting
and-
after
and
a
I-
while.
Do you,
It-
ha-
it
do you
doesn't
have
say,
to
like-
keep recasting it, or because it's a cantrip, can you go with the argument you're focusing on it?
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it just
you have
says
to keep
duration 1 minute.
recasting it.
You'd have
So,
to
yeah, I
keep
mean, you're
recasting.
technically recasting it. You could flavor it
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're focusing on it.
Yeah. But would it be a period of like a second to where it goes back, or would it just be?
No,
on the
you
side
can have up to
recasting?
you can have 3 1-minute effects active at a time. So I'm assuming you just overlap it a little bit and it'd be fine.
Could you have
Well,
little,
that wouldn't be. Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
You do it at different intervals. I thought you were saying like you just do 3 minutes of it. I was gonna say I don't think that's
No.
that's not simultaneous. I see what you mean.
All right,
Alright,
sorry to interrupt though. What's your plan here?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it wouldn't help until like next turn, but by next turn I could just walk up anyway. I was just gonna say, could I make my eyes bigger to see farther?
I don't know how that works logistically, but that's one of the most creative ways I've ever heard thaumaturgy try to be used, and I'm with it. I'm gonna give you
Roll or
I'm gonna give you
something for
that.
this.
Yeah. I'll say,
Okay.
like this is a little out of the bounds of thaumaturgy usually, but I don't think it's unfeasible.
Because if
So
you make
roll me Arcana.
them bigger, they like suck in more light and you can see better.
Yeah.
Well,
I would
as
say.
we know, the only way to see farther, you gotta drink
Nice.
soda.
Yeah, you
good
gotta
roll.
drink soda so you can.
I think
see
Coleman
further.
deserves advantage on that one.
Yeah.
So you can Fanta see better.
hmm
All right, you yeah. As so,
Fenro.
what is this like? Do you just because is it you alter the actual physical part of it, or is
Yeah,
it illusion based, or is it?
I don't know if it's illusion based or what. Mark, do you know? Is it
It'll say on the spell description.
just transmutation? So I'm assuming it actually
And it's
affects
not
the
illusion
stuff.
No, that
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
manifest up-
physically.
A minor,
Yeah.
one of the following. Yeah,
Did you make yourself blind?
That's insane.
yeah. I
For
guess
a
if
minute.
you wanted to.
Yeah.
For a minute. So yeah, Fenro right now just has like really popping out like bug fish eyes.
Oh my god, that's fantastic. I'm gonna try to make an edit of that sometime this
Yeah.
week.
But also, since that is an action, that is unless I can do a bonus action to try and read this stuff, then there's not much I could do with that.
Free action
Right
was to look over here. I'd say
But,
your focus this turn was over at these guys and on
Yeah.
making your eyes bigger. So I'd say no.
But bonus action wise, or still no?
Again, like your perception, you were already looking.
Okay,
over
I see
this
what you're
way.
saying. Yeah,
So I'm saying I don't think you can double up on perception.
fair enough.
At least like when it comes to what that perception is focusing on.
All right, then that's the dealio for now.
What if he did the eye? What if he did the eyes and go like split-eyed, so that he's still looking in that direction, but the bonus action moves the other eye?
Like a fucking chameleon.
Yes. So it's too late for that. I'm just talking theoreticals.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Next up will be this guy.
I did not hear a no.
Wait, sorry, what?
If Coleman had chameleon eyes to where he was still looking in that direction with one of them, but moved the other eye to the other one, would that to like where the other place he was looking? Would that have changed anything for his bonus action?
Indeed, you did not hear a no.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that stands.
Yeah, I'm a genius. I should have thaumaturgy.
Let me see here. We're just gonna try one of these. And let me check on something. Okay, just about enough. You see as this guy walks up behind the duplicate, the doppelganger, whips out a short sword, spins it around, and slides it just straight through the belly, and immediately it melts down into kind of like a clay that eventually just dissipates entirely. Yeah, like a just kind of pretty much a blue clay that sinks into the ground. And he goes, all right, one less nuisance to deal with. And we'll move on to Halestra, who calls out and says, I could have handled that one. And is going to use half her movement to stand. Kind of shakily a bit. But then is going to... How far away is she? Nice. Gonna knock her bow. Dang! Okay. Her arrow. Fine would be jealous, genuinely. Her technique is impeccable. It's similar to if you were to watch just someone at their craft. Let's take a boxer, for example. You know, you sit in the stands and are in awe of, you know, the technique, the focus of the boxer in the ring, because of how much they've put into their practice, right? And it's the same thing here. You see, whoever this is, they have put an incredible amount of time into the motion of the longbow. And it shows as the arrow flies fast as all hell straight through the barrier. It seems to slip through it and pierce into the side of the eye. The eye kind of shakes, shudders. No sound emits from it as its eye just kind of locks over to where it came from. And it appears to have done... It appears to have gotten in there and sunk in. Alright, nice. Sawyer, your turn.
I fly to the circle. I measure out the distance first. Okay, I fly to the circle.
Tight.
George goes here. Is that in? That's not in the circle, is it?
That counts as in the circle, yeah.
George goes here.
Word.
Baggy.
Yeah, it's essentially like this spot and this spot are in, but the corners are not.
You said this is like a fire circle, right?
According to some graffiti I read, yeah.
Do you know if all of these circles have an element to them?
That's my assumption.
So you think, what element you think that green one is over there?
Poison or acid, maybe?
If we can get George over there, he's immune to poison.
Oh, hey. Maybe.
Yeah. It's great knowledge to have. I might go unconscious in a second. And that's my turn. I'm going to bed.
All right, man. I'm sorry you won't be able to join us for the rest of the session, but there is a chance that this may we may not finish the combat. So you may still have a chance to see the end of the puzzle. We'll see though.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep going for I think another hour.
Coleman's gonna
you guys-
knock it out of the park, guaranteed.
You guys can take creative liberty with my character, but I will say one thing that I want done that I would have done if I was still here is George getting to the green circle, unless you find a better alternative.
All right, tight.
But yeah, I'm gonna head to bed. I don't expect to have any torches when I get back, but
So
Good
what I'm
call.
hearing
Good
is
call.
you
At
only
least you know it.
If you have any torches.
I have dark vision and night goggles. It doesn't matter.
It's true.
So and
Wait.
firebolt. So if I need fire, I can just make it.
And thanks for playing tonight, Nick. It was good to have you,
Yeah,
man.
bro. Yeah, that's all. See y'all later. Good night.
Hey, love
See
you.
ya.
Sleep tight.
Love ya, mama.
All right, tight. We will move to this guy's turn. And I think I'm alright with the players seeing the names, but just know I guess your characters don't know all the names yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
No. I think I know Axe. As Baggy.
Indeed, and you know there's someone here named Wallen as well.
Yeah, but I don't know who it is past one of them.
Let me look. This guy, yeah, he's going to peek up above this this little spot and attempt to do similarly to Halestra, but mechanically with a crossbow, and it does not nearly work at all as well as it flies seemingly similarly as fast as Halestra's arrow, but seems to sink into the barrier a bit and then get flung away and skids across the ice back down the stairs. Kind of lands in front of Rod there. He goes, blasted. All right, when we come to Ats, he's recovering. I would say it'll take about half his movement to recover here to get off of prone. So he gets 5, 10, 15. He starts making his way slowly back. Back that direction. Perri. Someone gonna stand in front of Gleam protectively. Isn't gonna send off anything yet. Still gauging what's going on. Alright, and now it is the gate's turn. And upon the gate's turn, nothing happens.
Uh-oh. Oh, thank God.
And we're back to Baggy. The eye seems to look around and observe.
So first things first, anything immediately happen being in this circle with the keyblade?
No, nothing immediate. It appears to react to you walking into it, but that reaction doesn't seem to be, you're not sure what that reaction is at the moment, and it doesn't seem to, like, do anything, if you will. You know, sort of like it glows just a tiny bit and then, you know, goes back down.
I'm gonna join the party then and slam at the door, I guess. Let me just double check which one I want to use.
The other thing that is of note, I would say, now that we're at the top of the round here, every eye, I know on the screen I can't close them, but every eye is currently closed. Except for the middle one. All of them, like, the eyes have shut.
Well, I'm gonna join the cool kids and, wait. Did that not get set up right? I swear to God this was a, yeah, ranged spell attack. Oh, it is not set up right. Alright, give me 2 seconds. Output attack, spell attack, range. That was the issue. Alright, cool. Fixed it. I'm gonna cast, Chill Touch at the big ol' eye with everyone else.
Alright, sweet. And that one is simply a save, yeah?
No. It's a ranged spell attack.
Okay,
I just
nice.
didn't have it
Spilled
set up
water
right.
all over myself and it's really cold.
Oh,
19.
it will try. I'm sorry, though. It's kind of fitting, though, for the environment. It's immersive.
Yeah.
Feel the chill of...
I've never been more immersed.
Of the Ventraloom air.
How's that 19 looking?
Man, so you holding this this key, you are just now getting a feel.
This is from me.
Oh, sorry. You have spells? I'm sorry.
I do. Remember that was the feat I took.
That's actually awesome. I forgot about
Chill
that.
Touch and Chaos Bolt.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, you holding the key. I apologize if that let loose a little knowledge about the key. You set aside the key for a moment, and as you said, join in with the rest to try to assault this eye that is seemingly, you know, around it. The other eyes have shut down. As you cast Chill Touch, you try to grasp onto the eye past the barrier. But you can't seem to push past it. Because I'm wondering, like, Chill Touch, it's almost like
it's
yeah,
weird.
What is that for you?
Here's
what
the
is that?
weird phrasing on Chill Touch, I will say, because I'm going to just post the exact spell description and all in there too, real quick.
The description says it owns noobs.
You create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range. So it's a ranged spell attack, but it appears directly on the target. Like I'm not shooting it out, it just appears.
You said what appears next to them?
The attack, it's not something I shoot, it's something that's appears on it.
Ghostly skeletal hand. That's right. Is it a skeletal hand
space.
for you?
Yeah. Withery, sort of like necrosified hand. Since it's tied to the, disease and dark magic that keeps her alive.
Gotcha. Okay. So, essentially, what happens here is you reach out, and you spawn that hand right somewhere around the eye, maybe right at the front, aiming to claw down through it with an icy sapping of its life energy, to deal that necrotic damage. But as it scrapes across, it's almost like it's scraping across a glass eye, right? So you hear that, the scratching, the unfortunate sound of that scratch before it becomes too much quickly, and you despawn it. What happens? So it doesn't take any damage, but what happens when you cast that and it appears there? The green eye immediately opens, and you sense that you can decide where to place the green eye's projection. Wherever you point to right now is where the green eye will project. It must be a runic circle.
I was about to ask that. Green eye projection. Green eye.
So, and just to be clear, you remember that those sigils that were projecting from the eyes when you guys first entered?
No, because that was when I had to go toss the keys, so I missed that bit.
Oh, sorry, gotcha. So these bits. Wait, hang on, sorry. Can I drag these on?
It appeared to me.
Yeah.
It appeared?
Yeah,
we can see that.
Popped up, yeah.
The handout, but there's not like a token there.
No.
Ah, shoot. That means this doesn't work how I think it was. How I thought it would.
No, you can only drag, like, character stuff from the...
Oh,
so
so
it's
it has
just
to
a
be
handout.
it has to be under
actually,
a character.
maybe not. Try dragging the actual, like, JPEG. No.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
No, yeah. That one doesn't work either.
You
Man.
can also, under the tab that's like your resources, you can literally drag the actual JPEG.
I know, but what's tough here is that I want you guys to be able to drag them in. Which is, yeah, I apologize.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I guess is
Ragdoll.
everyone okay with at least for the time being, if the battle goes on to the next session, I can change that, but for now,
Yeah,
you guys will
no,
just
you're
have to
good.
tell me.
Yeah.
But yes, these eye sigils were within the runic circles, and they were I gave them a little aura because they're technically projections. Sorry, not that color. They're technically projections from the eyes themselves. Like, as soon as the eye opens, like a projector, that sigil like shoots out from the eye and projects within one of the circles. But you can choose where to place it.
Alright. I guess what green on green?
Green on green violence? No.
Actually, yeah. Okay, so, cause I'm fucking stupid, is this the green eye right here, or is this the green eye?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. Hang on, I can even so that we're super clear.
Okay.
Oh
okay,
man,
okay.
that's a little too much. Hang on. Let's see what we
No,
can...
that's
Toxic
actually
eye.
good, cause it helps me and my stupid peanut brain.
Actually, well,
Okay.
yeah, we'll do super green
I'm
there.
actually gonna put it in that one then.
Okay.
Yeah.
It opens its eye. You sense that you have a split second to decide as something enters your mind and you feel that eye connecting to you and asking for you to send it to one of these circles. And so you point over to that circle, and immediately zoom, it projects over there. And within the projection there, you see the light intensify. You hear a bit of like a revving type of sound. Not like an engine or something, but you get what I mean when I describe it as revving.
Oh, yeah.
As the light intensifies and then goes down, and a little bit of like green sparkles drift out and land kind of along the sides here. Some effect has seemingly taken place in that circle, but you're unsure of what. You could roll me some Arcana just to see if you can maybe ascertain what all went down there.
Let's go. I have actually a 2 in Arcana. That's wild.
I have a 0.
Pog.
No, I know. That's what I mean.
0
It's
Arcana.
wild.
Let's go.
I got 0 intelligence modifiers. The fact I got 2. Why am I proficient in Arcana?
That's
The
a good
world
question.
May never know. Will it roll? Please?
Maybe it's I don't know. If
it's
we're thinking
asking me
backstory.
What fucking type of roll? There we go.
Oh.
It's a 5. That actually checks.
It was really green. You've never seen a spell cast like this because most people don't shoot spells out of their eyes. I don't know. It's a little tough.
Wait, do they not?
No, yeah, most people. Some.
So you ask.
But currently, and the green aura stays there,
Yeah.
and the sigil, stays within that circle.
Well, that's all I got.
All right, good deal. We come to Dear Wallen's turn, as he is going to take half his movement to get up out of prone after crawling up from the cliff, and is essentially just probably barely going to be able to just crawl his way up onto this cliff here as he continues to try to situate himself. He will, let's see. You see him do something under his cloak. Not entirely sure of what it is.
That freak.
Imagine wearing a cloak.
But yeah, he appears to be fiddling with something under his cloak. You hear a couple clinks, possibly of some kind of glass. When we come to Gleam, is going to run up to here. It's 5, 10. It's only 10. Let's go. 15, 20, 25. Should run up next to Rod, and pull out a torch.
Let's go.
And light it. And it's gonna follow Rod's lead here. She saw
I
she
mean,
saw
Rod
what you
is
did.
our leader.
Apparently.
Yeah. Why are you all acting surprised by this?
Truth. All right, cool. It goes about 10 feet here. It falls back down the stairs. And she has to jump back a bit as it like comes back to her feet. And she kind of she looks
give her a
down
high
a bit.
five.
She is surprised by that, but also delighted, and gives the high five back. And says, I can throw better than that, I promise. Just warming up my arm.
Oh, absolutely. Now watch this drive.
Oh yeah. Okay, Rod, it's your turn, man. Let's see that drive, dude. Oh! Oh! High five was
We watched
right.
that drive.
High five was
My
right.
favorite Bush quote, and it helped me.
It's the best Bush quote.
It's the best push
Absolutely.
quote.
It's so good. This torch. Maybe I'm thinking. Would you think you would pick up the still on fire torch that fell back from Gleam's throw?
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
the
You
same
like
torch.
as you high five, you just go like, "Hey, don't worry about it. Watch this drive." Like you pick up the one that she failed to throw, and absolutely rear back. This time you watched the Huntress closely and noticed that there are chinks in this shield, right? It's not something that covers everywhere at once. So, what I'm thinking is you pretend to throw one way, the eye goes to shield in that direction, and you huck it, you do the classic like fake out, and it boomerangs like around and smashes into the side. Still hitting, much like well, no, not hitting as though it's glass, but like burning. I don't know what a burnt eye looks like. Does anybody know? Has anybody seen like an eye burn?
Oh, they're like too small.
Yeah. I imagine it's bubbly. It's a little
Yeah.
off-putting to see, honestly. This
Despawns.
massive eye, and the fire catches there and burns and singes for a while, and causes some damage. Roll me, let's see. It would be the bludgeoning plus the flame, so probably what, like a D4 bludgeoning, D6 flame, just off the cuff.
Okay, I can do that.
And then roll that twice because you critted. So 2d4
So what
and
is it?
2d6.
Okay. I'm gonna just do it this way.
Alright, booyah. Solid 5 for the bludgeoning. Oh, unlucky. Booyah. Well, hey. Still, though, some incredible torch damage. Again, the eye doesn't seem to react. Other than shuddering. It kind of bounces a bit, like to like push out the flames. Pushes against this darkness that's around it. But then then goes back to observing. And you watch as the torch does singe in there, but eventually does fall and ends up landing next to it. Well done, Rod. Again, I'll say it again. No other campaign has utilized torches this well. Name me another campaign.
Just in general, or that's used torches as well?
Sorry, that's
Yeah,
used
just in
torches
general.
this well.
Name another campaign. I can't.
What if
Personally.
there's like a torch-centric campaign? I mean, there might be one.
I feel
This
like
is some
that's-
homebrew bullshit.
I feel like that's gonna be something that I create now at some point here.
Torch
Yeah.
Paladin?
Now that
Legacy
I mean,
of the Torch.
Coleman, you've just you've brought that into reality. You've brought that to my attention now, and it is my destiny.
But is it your own destiny, or is it a destiny someone else put on you?
You
You have to look inside yourself and ask yourself the big questions. Who are you? And what do you want? And I've watched Avatar too many times.
What kind of torch campaign do you want? Oh snap! Was that from Avatar?
Yes, an Avatar quote.
Yo, heck yeah! My the one that sticks with me is the one where he's remembering
That's
his
rough,
days
buddy.
at the air temple and how he ran away from his responsibility, and that's how he ended up
Oh.
in the ice. And he goes like, "I'm tired of running." I forget the full quote, but that line there is,
Yeah.
is one that really resonates with me. It has stuck with me for years.
Heck yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, we'll talk more. We can talk more Avatar later. Certainly. Rod,
Yeah, hey,
after this
cardio.
mighty torch throw, what else are you doing?
Well, I think I'm actually going to move towards the door.
All right.
I'm trying to collect these torches back.
Gleam does offer a high five before you leave.
I reciprocate.
Heck yeah. Bam.
Bam. That's my turn.
All right, cool. Jerma leans over to, or as the torch like strikes, you see Jerma go, "Oh, yeah, Rod, man!" And he leans over to Fenro and goes, "I didn't even know you could do that with the torch. Is that? Do they teach that somewhere?"
I'll be honest, I don't know. That was just impressive.
Right? Should I try? I shouldn't try. Should I try? I shouldn't try. Should I? Should I try?
You really sound like you want to try.
You should try.
I kind of want to try.
I think you might want to try. Go ahead and try,
You gotta
buddy.
Go, look at me, look at me.
Baggy, you think I can do it? You think I can?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. He's like, he sidesteps as he pulls the torch out. He's like dodging side to side. He keeps looking at the eyes as though they're gonna shoot him with lasers. So he's like doing it. He does one combat roll and he dodges like back and forth, constantly keeping an eye out. Spastically like looking at all the eyes. Neurotically, is that the right word?
Neurotically's fine. It's just spastically is funny because in Britain it's a slur.
It is?
Yeah, but not here in a good old US of A.
That's right, baby.
I do apologize.
We have better slurs.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
None of us are British.
all good. True. Dude, thank goodness we're not British.
And apparently, yeah, honestly.
Insert
goodness
a
we're not British.
Timmy Turner quote here.
It's apparently in Britain the same thing as like the R slur.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
see, we have
wild.
better slurs here.
Yeah, we like our R's.
Mm-hmm. So he's dodging back and forth. He's looking sporadically at all the eyes.
That's a good one.
That was good. Heck yeah. It's like a happy compromise there. And like Ducks is leaning up against the stairs to try to garner him some cover, and then pulls out the little orange Toys R Us pistol and aims it and goes to shoot. Bam. Yep. And sure enough, it fires off, and the eye looks right at where the bullet is, and that appears to be where the shield is centered, and so it hits, makes that wow sound, and putters out. Oh wait, sorry, he was gonna throw a torch. I'm so dumb.
That's not a torch throw.
I'm so dumb. Apologies.
I
We'll
thought
take
this
the
was
same
not-
roll. We'll take the
That's a
same
good
roll,
one.
which would be an 11. It would mean that's an 11.
My assumption was he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then just wimps out at the very end and just shoots his gun instead.
I was
Honestly,
assuming
that
he'd just
might be.
forget.
That might be it as well. He also got really nervous as he's looking at all the eyes, which all like go to stare at him. Which, by the way, like these eyes, or sorry, the only one open right now is the green one. I apologize, but the middle eye seems to react to movement. It does like keep an eye on everything that goes. So, you know, at each person's turn, like, the eye focuses on them. And yeah, we'll play it like that. He did get nervous, and wimped out at the end. Yeah, that's when we'll switch to Finewynn's turn.
Finewynn is going to move forward.
Gotta get within 30 feet, baby.
Hey, nice.
To there. Next to Jerma.
I mean, for Finewynn, he could literally be like back here, and he'll be able to read it.
Yeah. And then
we're about gotta throw those torches.
yeah, and then Finewynn is, as we all know, going to do a was it D20 plus 4?
Yep.
Do you think Finewynn like walks, sees Jerma wimp out on it, and like saunters up next to him to show him how it's done?
No,
But I feel like it's in like
Dark
a.
rolls
Oh, sorry,
the
what?
entire way. He Dark Soul rolls, just combat rolls the entire way.
Tight.
Just
Okay.
keep
Doesn't even
rolling.
stop, just like one consecutive roll.
He manages to like wrap the fabric, light or apply the oil and light it on each roll. So like after 3
Yeah.
rolls, he has it all prepared. On the final one, he lights it and hucks it.
Yes.
But boom, 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 the eye barely catches it in time. With it coming from the same, or actually catches it pretty readily. With it coming from the same spot that Jerma just fired from, the eye already had its sight in that direction, and nothing was around to distract it enough
Dang, and
for it
that doesn't hit.
to fly through. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know, Finewynn's up there. Free check to read some stuff, I guess.
He says,
Sure,
write
sure.
that down. Somebody write that down.
Let's write that down. And then reads the green one.
All right, under the green eye reads an eye with heavy blank.
It is a bad word.
Yeah, their mommies were watching them write it. They didn't want to get in trouble.
Why don't you go ahead and sign off for me?
What?
That's what they would say at school.
Oh.
True.
Why don't you go ahead and sign off for me real quick?
But I
That's
do.
true.
It is clear though that each of these, and you know, Fenro, you as well, like getting a little bit closer. At least you're starting to pick up on that. Each of these sentences seem to not have a finish. Yeah, seem to not have a final word. This one is an eye with heavy blank.
Our work is not yet blank. Eye with heavy blank. That was the first one, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, cool. All right, well that's Finewynn's turn.
But it seems to be describing the eye itself. Next up is Fenro.
Fenro, I'm assuming this is because there's stairs. So can I bump my way through Jerma and them? Like, can I walk past them?
They're
No, you
allies.
can pass
I'd say
through
yeah.
People square, yeah.
Okay. Fenro's gonna walk on up
It's one of
there.
those where like if they're enemies, probably not, but like it's Fire Emblem rules. You can walk through allies.
Yeah. And then
I mean,
check another
5
red
feet are
one.
fucking big.
Oh, speaking of which, sorry, this is off topic. Margot, could you send me that Awakening ROM?
Yeah, I can do that after we're done.
Heck yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm reading the red one.
Oh, nice. Okay. Under the red eye reads, an eye which opens only to destroy another's blank.
Okay.
An eye which opens only to destroy another's blank.
I'm writing this down.
Good stuff.
Write that down.
And then just going back because I'm writing these all down now because I figured probably important.
Yeah. It is.
Green one is an eye without blank, something like that.
An eye with heavy blank.
With heavy blank. And then the top one is our work is not yet blank.
Indeed.
And what's the red?
An eye which opens only to destroy another's blank. And since I just walked up,
Marco. Oh, I'm delighted.
Since I did just walk up and free action read, can I just spend my turn reading a few more of these?
You can use your action, yeah. I'd say that's okay.
Okay. So action, I'm gonna read was purple?
That is technically the blue. Sorry.
Okay.
I know it is a little purplish, but it correlates to this runic circle.
We'll do the blue.
All right.
We'll work our way around.
Under the blue eye reads, an eye that spawns another in order to split its blank.
In order to split its blank?
Mm-hmm. In order to split its blank. And its is, possessive there.
Okay.
The other thing that you do notice as you turn your attention to this eye in particular... sorry, never mind. Sorry, it's closed. I apologize. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Understood. And then, sorry, let me check some stuff. I'm just gonna, since I saw her get her, shit rocked, her fall on her ass, I'm just gonna cast a real quick healing word on Lady.
Alright.
Huntress.
Alright, go ahead and
As
roll me
bonus
that.
action. As bonus action? Yeah.
Man, nice on.
Nice on!
Nice on. Great heal. Let's see. Yeah,
That's
she
max.
was
I think
at.
that's max.
That was. Oh, you're right. Actually, nice on.
Nice shot!
What I am curious. I feel like we
Nice
might have said this
cock.
before, but what word? Like what word activates this this heal? This healing.
Glitterbane.
Is it that you say the word and then just the healing effect happens over there, or does the word almost
think it,
whisper in there?
Exists. Oh, I figured it was like a physical manifestation of the word bonk. Well, it just comes out of my mouth and slowly drifts toward them.
We can roll with that actually. I'm alright with that. It's almost like it's similarly blue and ethereal, like your skin. And it floats over there. Doing some quick math. Apologies. And then, whoa. All right, nice. Roll me another perception real quick. This will be free.
All right. Did I close my character sheet? I can't believe my stinky ass.
Yeah,
Oh.
honestly, what were you thinking with that ass? So stinky.
Perception, you said?
Yeah. Oh my god. You know precisely she was about halfway spent. Mechanical terms, she was at half her health. She seemed pretty darn beat up. It's at this point that you maybe her hood has been blown aside by the wind, and you can see a bruising in her eye where a fist from that simulacrum had come down and crushed part of her skull, or caused some really bad bruising there, and that specifically, had dazed her and and with the butterbean floating over, it kind of, just kind of, it, like, I like to imagine it just kind of bumps into, like, the forehead there. For a second, there's almost like, she, it's hard to see from that eye, so she, like, maybe thinks it's a bug for a second and almost swats at it, but then is too late and it bumps, and then the healing takes place, and she blinks a bit, and the deep blue and purple that was forming there recedes a bit to show some color again, and she looks over, still with a stern face, but recognizes where it came from.
She's like, did you just say butterbean?
Was that a floating? Was that? Oh, never mind.
She looks over. My eyes are bulging out of my head.
Hold up. Okay, she holds. No chuckle.
If you look in the chat.
Just so you know, that roll was to determine if she would, like, laugh or not.
Okay. The nat 20 saved her.
Yep.
If you look in the
the
Crawling
Discord.
Dusk chat.
Sorry, I don't have that up.
This is my short little, like, 5-minute.
This is a beautiful thing. I think this is better than anything I would have come up with.
I just selected the eyes and made them bigger.
Excellent. That's so good. I believe that is accurate to how you look currently.
Exactly.
Even with that though, she holds. Yeah, she remains stern and focused. And all right, I think that's your turn.
Yeah.
All right, we come to this one. What are his options? He doesn't have much to do, so I think he may just fire.
You
If
mean
he
like
has.
like fire a torch?
No. This guy wouldn't be having that. He seems to like let out a sigh as he like smashes the what little remains of the simulacrum down into the dust. His arms kind of hidden under his cloak, his foot just coming up and down to smash it down as he absent-mindedly brings out his crossbow from under the it's more like a shroud, sorry, from under the shroud, and shoots it off, but with him not focusing very much, the eye easily deflects it. But he seems very intent on making sure that the simulacrum is gone. The huntress will, let's see, move 10, 15. And shout out, or no, hang on, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, she does get a little bit closer. She tries to talk quietly as she says this. She says, You wouldn't happen to have any more butter beans, would you, Fearbolg?
Oh, I got plenty.
All right.
You need the healing, or one of your friends?
It would be advantageous to see my wounds healed further.
Just
got
see
it.
my balls.
To see
gonna-
my balls.
That's Cole's
Boom.
favorite phrase.
Yeah. See my balls.
To see eyeballs.
Ooh. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm gonna try to finish reading up what's under these eyes first, and then I'll help you out. All right?
You read Abyssal.
Yeah. You know, you meet
Excellent.
Patch once or twice, you get it, you understand it. Fenro winks at her, but like with its giant eyes.
You see, she's had, as I said, this immensely stoic face this entire time. One of, maybe not stoic, but just strictly focused, right? She's in the midst of battle and truly focused. But that, the mentioning of meeting Patch does phase her for just a brief moment.
Can I just say, this is as sort of, not a threat, but like saying, don't mess with us. Like,
Indeed.
this is Fenro throwing this out there as a, yeah, I've met Patch, watch it.
Okay,
Yeah, I've met
roll
Patch,
me,
my balls are huge.
roll me in intimidation.
Okay.
A 10, okay.
And then
Roll.
this is a check, right? I'm gonna add a D4 to that because of, what's it called? My knowledge from a past life. Or D6.
Yo.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right,
gonna add
heck
the D6
yeah.
to it.
And that honestly, it applies well. No, you're joking.
Meets.
Oh, this wasn't contested.
Oh.
Just to explain, because it's, I think I can. Not that big. She was rolling insight there.
Okay.
Trying to ascertain whether or not you were actually telling the truth. Because granted, somebody makes a comment like that, it comes across as could very well be false.
Yeah.
Because it's a hard to
Never
believe one.
lie. It's illegal for Fenro to lie.
She doesn't know that. But she seems
Inherently
to
all people.
she seems to she gives you like a look of respect. So the intimidation didn't seem to take hold, but she seems to at least believe you at face value here in the heat of the battle, and simply says, "One who is meant a god. Oh, you better have something for this door then." As she backs up and backs up one space and draws her bow to fire once again at the thing. But it appears the conversation shook her enough to unsteady her arrow, and the eye deflects it. Boom. All right, next up we have Sawyer.
Alright, Sawyer gives the monkey a torch.
Pog? It eats it? No.
No.
We
Foolish
could have never
monkey
calculated for this.
boy. The monkey doesn't even have a stomach.
True, but I feel like to me it makes sense for constructs to like eat inanimate objects and such.
Yeah.
Like wood and metal and bolts.
Like robots eating oil. Or drinking
Yeah.
oil.
Exactly.
Alright, what do we want?
He did say something to do with the monkey though.
Yeah. The monkey to the green spot.
Green circle.
Alright. How far can the monkey move? 30?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Well, how far do you
The
want the
answer
monkey
is
to move?
yes, 30.
Alright, makes it to about there.
Oh god.
It is right behind you. And this is like in mid motion, so it's like storming up. You hear Jerma give a brief as it's startled by the monkey's dash. Oh, the monkey can dash, frig. Alright, it's in there.
At the expense of Nick's bonus action, or Sawyer's bonus action.
Is that alright?
It's only bonus action for him?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Oh, I guess, yeah, because that would be the action for monkey.
Yep.
Alright. And then still got an action for Sawyer, right?
Yes, indeed.
Sawyer is gonna feel the fire or something. I don't have his character sheet.
Oh heck, okay. For the sake of this time, I will put I'll grant you guys access. Let's see, I'll grant Margot and Coleman and Nathaniel. Do you want access?
Yeah, give it torches.
I don't need that kind of responsibility.
All right, fair enough.
I will abuse it.
Oh, you
Alright.
think we won't?
So it's now
No,
you
but-
can, because it should still be in viewable, but now it should be editable. Edible. What?
We can eat it now.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wait, actually, I gotta fix
Finally.
something on his sheet that's been driving me fucking insane.
Hey,
Is it the hit
good
dice?
stuff.
No. Because the hit dice fucks itself up anytime. Though that being said, I'm gonna fix that too. Where is it? Add character name to templates on.
Oh.
Finally.
Ah! Now mine's the only one that doesn't have that.
Yeah, you dip. Get with the picture.
And then he's gonna
For the torch
Fenro
should be
poison. Yeah, just a d20 plus
3.
3.
But at disadvantage?
Yeah, he's pretty far.
Yeah. Actually have him firebolt. Let's actually do something
fine.
smart.
Alright, you can roll that since you probably already got it up.
Actually close it, but I can pull it back up. That'll take 2 seconds or less.
They have to give you
17 to hit.
All right, that
on
does
the eyeball.
the fire shoots out in a solid arc, but then hits and dissipates over the shield as the invisible shield briefly is silhouetted by the flames. But what happens when this spell, so it didn't affect it, but what happens when this spell hits against the barrier, the red eye shoots open. Please choose a runic circle for the red eye to affect.
Red on this one.
Yeah.
All right, as the projection appears, let me give it its little radius, little red radius. As it shoots out there, much like the projection glowed here, this one glows and then heats up. Please make a dexterity saving throw for Dear Sawyer.
I can certainly try. Who knows what will happen when I click on... Oh, did you already do it?
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Oh boy, okay.
I mean, if it's fire damage, he's got resistance. That's explicitly why I was like, hey, you should go there.
There we
What if
go.
it's not fire damage?
Oh wow, almost max damage. So he takes 6 damage as this beam heats up and then ignites. The entire ray, just flares. And the inside, you hear him grunt and bear it. Not being quite as bad for him. Granted, still rough. And as that happens, the red eye, with there only being one other eye open, fires another ray briefly over to where the green eye is, and forces the green eye to shut.
Oh, that less than ideal.
Well, I think I understand something now.
Dude,
Yeah, the inscription under the red eye on the wall, it says, "An eye which opens only to destroy another's blank." And I'm just saying it kind of makes sense if it's just, destroying another eye. I don't know what the blank is, but I mean, hey, it makes sense.
I will say again, just to make sure it's clear, the eye did close, but it didn't straight up just obliterate that eye. Just
Yeah.
a projection, yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it for old Sawyer.
All right, Groft. Let's see. He's gonna let's see, who was there before? He's gonna yell out to Sawyer, "Wow, you handled that better than Ats did. That's for damn sure." As he then climbs up to here and is gonna fire off another crossbow bolt. Nice. Actually, yeah, with all the eye activation happening, this eye seems to lose its focus just a bit. Just enough time for him to sink an arrow in its side. Let's see, that was 7 damage. Oh yeah. Alright, now it's Ad's turn. 5, 10, 15. Alright, he makes it to about there. He's still booking it. Oh, we've got Perri. Just gonna run up. Again, is gonna hold steadfast by Gleam until she notices the Huntress, and walks up and goes to place a hand before she backs up and is going to try to juke it actually. 13. See how Perri goes. Just gonna do. We'll choose strength for sure. Wow. You see
And
the
Perri
Huntress tries to juke, but yeah, it's almost like the speed of light, right? It's almost like the speed of the sun, as her hand glows with a radiance to it, and flies forwards as she notices the Huntress begin to try to dodge. She grabs onto her shoulder and holds her in place, and heals her.
Perri?
Let's do level 2. Oh wow, rough roll. It's okay.
Dang.
And heals for about 8 damage. You see, maybe it was that, like, because she had to force it, there's something about that causes healing magic to not take as heavy an effect, you know? One of those where, like, healing magic maybe affects better or easier when the person is open to the heal.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. There's 8 here. Nonetheless, you do see as where she grabbed on the shoulder, you notice, and now there was a tear in the heavy fabrics that, or in the heavy hides that she wears, and that must have been where a dagger or something had caught her, and she heals that section, and you see as the huntress relaxes a bit, recognizing what was going on. Now we come to the top of the round.
Me.
And at the top, let's see. Okay, good. The red eye remains open. That is all.
First and foremost, God, I would like to investigate perception, whatever I need to roll, to see just if it looks like we're having any effect on Big Eye.
In what way? Just damage wise?
Yeah, damage. Seeing if it's the attacks or anything are seeming to do anything to it.
Okay. I will say, like, without needing to roll, you do know that it is having an effect. The hits that have passed in.
Does it seem like it's actually being hurt, or is it just more of it's connecting? Like,
okay.
Imagine a wall, for example, like, wall's not really gonna seem like it's getting hurt if you're stabbing it.
True,
whereas
okay.
a living thing.
Is there... Yeah,
That's
roll me perception real quick. Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, okay. 4!
With a 4. The thing that makes you hesitate is that scratchy glass sound from when you cast Chill Touch on it. That makes you question whether or not this thing is construct or alive, right? But you have also seen the beautiful torch toss from Rod connect and singe and sear the flesh of the eye, right? To where it is seemingly acted like glass and as organic. Perhaps it has multiple states. Perhaps it's not being affected at all and is creating an illusion to trick you. Who knows? It is a little tough to gauge this eye, especially when it doesn't even have eyelids or anything to convey any type of emotion. It did shudder though as well. So I'll throw out all those observations. You do with that what you will.
I guess with that, Chill Touch worked so well the first time.
All right, cool. I do apologize. I'd give you more if it wasn't a 4.
No, you're good. It was a fucking 4.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting anything, I'm gonna be honest. Also, Chill Touch, by which I mean not Chill Touch, go Chaos Bolt. Fuck!
That's a 10 to hit?
Yeah.
Alright, give me 1 sec. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so what does the Chaos Bolt look like?
Well, let's double check our damage. 1d8, so I got a 4 and a 5. We're doing the 4. So this is gonna be force, so it's and this one is just pure energy essential. Kinetic energy just blasting towards this thing. Just sort of like arm out, arm cannon, Mega Man style, boom, and
Oh
just
yeah.
big old blast.
Now imagine the force
Pure
expands
energy.
expands as it goes, right? And maybe the intention there is to maybe see if you could get, like, if it expands wide enough, maybe it could encompass and go around the barrier there. But alas, once it reaches where the barrier is, it collides, creates a heavier ricochet sound than just the torches and arrows and such, which kind of resounds throughout the battle zone. When you cast this as well, the aura within the red eyes projection ignites once again. Roll me a dexterity saving throw for Sawyer.
Oh no! Well, it's a good thing. He's got that,
Dexterity?
I think his dexterity is 16. The sheet's not loading right now.
Oh,
you got it.
He takes 4 damage. 4 fire damage. As it ignites again. This time, he's at least a little more ready for it. I don't think he was entirely expecting it, as no one was. But as he sees the light begin to brighten as he's within the aura itself. So, I mean, imagine, like, when you stare right into the sun, it's kind of like that, but just instantly all around you. As it gets really hot and then ignites, and he feels the flame, he feels the burn. All right, cool. Are you guys keeping track of his health?
Yeah.
And yeah, should
I changed it
as
for
I
this
said.
one.
Okay, you did.
You
I got it
peeps.
for the
Cool.
first one then. Yep.
He's at 21 now.
Yep, that should be works.
Right on.
Yeah, bro should roll better for his dexterity
that's
saving
fine.
throws. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Thankfully, the
been kind
damage
of
wasn't quite as bad
embarrassing.
there.
Have you been moving forward the turn order? Was he the last one?
I have.
No, I was.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Sorry, I got confused.
Baggy, anything else with the turn?
Well, we got that blast. I ain't really got anything else at the moment.
All right, cool. Move on to dear Wally, who is simply gonna move into this circle and squat down, seeming to be catching his breath.
Oh, I had a very stupid idea.
Gleam is going to hop off of Jerma's back, leap, and try to toss another torch. She wants redemption.
Good.
Oh, this is a better toss. It goes right over your head, Fenro. You see her leap and
That's impressive.
huck
I'm a
it.
tall guy.
Yeah, over your head too. That's she had to jump on Jerma in order to get above your head there. Tosses it out, but the eye is locked onto her and the torch that flies towards it, and so it bonks, slides against the ice, and fizzles out. She goes, "Oh man, I can do it. I can do it."
Don't worry,
Go on,
Gleam.
Gleam.
You got this.
Oh, thanks, Fenro. Here, would you light this torch for me? She's gonna hopefully have you light it on the next one, if you don't move. But
Yeah.
all right, Rodrigo, your turn. Torch Master Rodrigo.
I think I'm actually just gonna hit it with the anchor.
What? You're not gonna waste all of your torches?
This isn't the final boss.
You're right. You gotta save some of them.
Yeah.
True.
Plus, I haven't used the anchor yet.
That's
Granted,
true.
I haven't attuned to it, but I feel like I should break it in. The 23 hit?
Dang, that does. Absolutely does.
It not only hits, it pones.
And max damage nonetheless. Yeah, this anchor feels good in your hands. It's a little bit of a different heft, certainly, than the old Warhammer. But as I said, it feels good. You gain momentum, swing it around first to confuse the eye, and then rend it straight into the side of the eye. And it sinks in with a sickening, splat sound. As it gets some good damage on it. You see the eye shakes a bit, because when you do this, you stop its movement for a second, and that's when it actually, if the eye can freak out, that seems to be doing that. But before the anchor gets rended back and out of it, it shakes even more furiously.
That's pretty cool.
Let's see. It is booyah. Okay. But then once the anchor is out, it returns to its normal movement, following any movement that it sees, slowly and methodically. Nice hit.
Can I do a perception check to see if I can how damaged it is?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a free check. And perception, yeah. The 15. It's a little hard to tell. I don't know about all your adventures in the past, but I don't know if you fought a big old massive eye before. But this thing, it looks to be as though its movement and its ability to do what it is doing currently hasn't really been affected much. Damage has been done to its exterior, but it doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. With more damage, it might slow down, but currently it's kind of chipped, if you will.
Okay. I'm gonna. Is there a circle I should be moving towards then?
And you also notice, like, the gashes and such that you've put in it have not covered over and have not, like, molded back or anything. The gashes that you have left in it with the fire and the anchor are clear to be seen and are still very, easy to see on it. So it's easy to see the damage that has been done to it.
I'm gonna yell back. Does anybody know what we're supposed to be doing, or am I hitting it?
I'm working on that.
I'm kind of at a loss here. Gonna be honest, we kind of, I would ask Fine. He's a big brains, but he's in torch mode.
He's seeing red, and the red is the fire of a torch.
He do be in torch mode, don't he? Hang on. I forgot. There we
And
go.
Sawyer, yeah.
That's better.
There we go. Now I can take him seriously.
Oh yeah.
No, I think that's actually good. I want to designate and make sure it's clear who's what characters are currently NPC-ified.
I guess I'm gonna end my turn there then.
All
I
right,
feel
cool.
like we're kind of at a dead end. Do you guys want to kind of postpone this to...
I mean, it's just I feel like once read word, we might be at a better spot.
Yeah.
Do you want
Sure,
to
I think that
run
one-
through the rest of this this turn, and then that's what I was thinking is when we would
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, tight. Good deal. Keep in mind, Baggy, your options. There was Dwarvish written in between these two eyes and over on this
I didn't
pillar.
realize there was Dwarvish run past just there.
Gotcha. Did I don't know.
I think you mentioned it.
I know
I
I did
think
mention it, but I don't know if it was when Margo was
I think it was-
BRB.
No, I think it was brought up with like the abyssal as well, and I was kind of
Yeah.
just grouping it all up as abyssal in my head, which is
Yeah,
my
no,
fault.
that's how I had it in my head too. Was that it was all abyssal.
Let me
Besides that one there.
let me do a little scribble here. A little scribble here. And put a little D next to it as well. And then, will you remember where the abyssal is? That's pretty
under all
clear.
the
It's
eyes, right?
under all the eyes, yeah. Good deal. Okay. I'm glad I mentioned it then. I don't want you to feel as though you're at a dead end.
Yeah.
There
It's
are
just on all
options.
of us for some reason. Mandela affecting it to be abyssal.
I hear
Yeah.
that. Alright, Jerma, having just been pushed down by Gleam jumping off his back, has full on like grabbed his hat and like ducked for cover, thinking that something had attacked him, before he like looks up and sees Gleam in front of him and goes, "Ah! Don't scare me like that." Okay, alright. Man, if Gleam can do it, you can too, Jerma. Come on. Come on. He runs up to here. Lights the torch this time. And is gonna give it a shot. Come on, Jerma. Come on, Jerma. Ooh!
The nat 20 on it.
Can I just
This is a
say?
19 hit.
Well, I think crit is automatic hit, or is that not the case?
It's automatic pass
Crit
on
is
other
an
stuff.
automatic hit. Crit
Okay.
is an automatic hit.
Good deal. Because I was about to say,
Uh,
I just want to make mention, this is the only way Jerma could have possibly hit this torch.
yeah, no, crit is an automatic hit, and that one is an automatic miss, regardless of modifiers.
That's amazing. That's honestly fantastic.
This is the only... I'm astounded, honestly, at the moment. Jerma, once he realizes it was Gleam, as you heard, he like smacks his face. He pulls out the torch and just like runs at it with his eyes closed, trips a little bit, hucks it like off to the side. It like bounces off of this wall here and into the eye itself. No way the eye could have predicted this. It was too it was too clumsy for it to possibly predict. And the flames catch right about where Rodrigo's caught as well. And we'll roll, say, 2d4 and 2d6 for the fire. He crit he crit one of the fours. Wow, and manages to do a little more damage than even Rod's did. He opens his eyes and sees the torch like embedded in the side kind of sinking into where your torch had already made headway in singeing and searing a hole in the side of the eye. It burns, and the eye again shudders a bit, shaking the torch off and down to the ground. But some damage has been done. That's
Dang,
amazing.
Rod. You're
I
gonna
don't
let
think you can
Jerma
say
stand
that.
you up? Or show you up?
I'm gonna point to my anchor still in the eye.
Fair enough.
Jerma is just standing there, just saying like, that was Rod's torch, right? That's from earlier. That's what. There's no way. I mean, just as planned, as of course, just as I had predicted. How did it go? What did it look like, Fenro? You gotta help me here, man. What did it do?
Not gonna lie, you stumbled a little bit, but you definitely hurt the thing. That was a nice toss.
Oh man, I knew. Oh, God, I knew I doubt it. I knew I had it in me.
Absolutely. Good job, Jerma.
This is a great day for Jerma. Let's go. And that's Jerma actually saying that. We'll come to Finewynn.
Alright, Finewynn is going to read more words
Tight.
Yeah.
underneath the blue. Or, turquoise?
That's teal.
Teal.
Yeah, real teal. Under the teal eye reads, an eye that rushes to save blank. Under the teal eye reads the ancient abyssal for that loosely translates to an eye that rushes to save blank.
I accidentally put a laughing while crying emoji. It's just gonna stay there.
That's amazing. Teal eye trying to be a hero. Lamau.
And, it's a really hard decision here. What else to do? Like, I really can't think of anything.
I don't think that hits.
12. Okay. Was that torch? That was torch, yeah?
Yeah, that was torch.
Alright. I'm thinking like maybe Finewynn really liked how Jerma's hit, like banged against the column and hit over to the side. So he thought that he could maybe do the same there. But when he hucks it, the angle is just slightly off. It, as the torch spins, it hits on the wrong spot and ends up just landing in the rune circle there.
So it looks like he just threw it at the wall.
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
Incredible.
He kind of like scratches behind his head a bit, looks over to the side.
It's like, write that down.
Write that down.
True.
That's interesting.
He gives a quizzical look and then jots something down in his notebook.
Write that down.
All right, cool. On to Fenro.
Alright, Fenro gonna keep on reading.
He's gonna write that down.
With the tan eye next. And then he's gonna write it down.
Under the tan eye, in the ancient abyssal reads, an eye with a focus that will transition to the next blank. An eye with a focus that will transition to the next blank.
Alright. And then, full action or bonus action, whichever one. Wide eye time. Time for that last eye.
Nice. The final eye, under it reads, an eye that once opened will never shut blank. An eye that once opened will never shut. Blank.
Was that bonus action or full action?
We can call that bonus since you are focused in the same direction. You know, it's all towards the eyes there.
Okay, cool. Fenro is going to... Wait, let me check something real quick. I have an idea here, but... Marg, is Chill Touch, that's necrotic damage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
What? Huh?
I was gonna hit it with necrotic damage, but never mind. So I'm going to do Guiding Bolt.
Guiding bolt. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey Cole,
Yeah.
what if instead of hitting it with necrotic damage,
Yeah.
you hit it with erotic damage?
We should listen to atmospheric drum and bass.
Spicy. Is sorry, I guess that is kind of the vibe of this song. I can switch it up if you want.
I like
I mean,
atmospheric drum and
we
bass.
got... Oh.
Heck yeah. True, there's not much time left. We'll let this rock.
1, 2, 3,
A Plowy.
4, 5.
Does a 23 hit?
That it does. This one, and it's it's usually like a patch, right? Sent from
Yeah.
from like your patchwork pants or something.
Yep.
All right, you summon it out, you know, the ethereal version of the one on your pants, and you're tricky with it, and you send it down to slide across the ice, and then slam up into the bottom of the eye, and it works exactly how you planned. Once it takes hold under the eye, those abyssal white glowing hands begin to crawl out, and this is the first time you're seeing the hands have trouble pointing out the weaknesses, right? It's because pretty much all of them are just pointing at like the eye, like the iris. So it's, you know, usually what happens is these hands will be grabbing and crawling all over the person and pointing out like the small chinks in the armor, the you know, cleft chin, or, you know, the lazy eye, like any type of like small defect that can be exploited in a target. But with this eye, it's literally all of them are just kind of blooming around the iris and pointing directly at it.
You gotta hit it somewhere, man. I mean, the eye? I don't know.
Yeah,
Figure it
exactly. Just so you know, these are like the hands of the souls that are within like the abyss, coming out to assist you. So these literally are just like they could just be peasants who are just like, you know, working to try to point out what might be a good idea.
Wait, now how many of them in there have solved this puzzle and know where to aim?
Ooh, let me roll for it.
Luck.
All right, nope, you didn't get the right one.
Darn.
Sorry.
Unfortunate. Bad RNG bullshit.
I know, right?
Bad game.
But just so it's clear, the guiding bolt did take effect, though. The fact that the hands did come out, you are good. The next one will have advantage.
And any eyes open or anything like that?
Yes. The red eye that is already open, it ignites once again.
We should have moved Sawyer!
It's not his turn yet.
We had a turn!
Roll a dexterity check. So far,
He's gonna roll this one pretty well. Yeah,
so far, 3 spells have caused this. 18, nice. No damage.
Nice.
This time he was even more ready for it. And you see, even as the flames seem even hotter this time, he simply stands there with his arms crossed. Breathes out his nose a bit. Maybe breathes like says pathetic under his breath.
Or would do that.
Oh yeah. And then sorry, I need to plop the damage here on the eye.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. There we go. Okay. Next up, that was your turn, I believe. Full action
yeah.
bonus and yeah. All right, Cloaker's turn. Let's see. He let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20.
Damn, I really thought I understood it.
All right, he's gonna rush to this circle. Helestra is sheathes her bow for a second to bow to Perri and says, "You have my thanks." They're just gonna back up one more time and try to send off an arrow. Nice. And yeah, curving it manages to sink another arrow into the eye.
Nice.
Okay, booyah. Sawyer.
Okay, so here's gonna move out of the circle, I think.
Alright, cool. Where to?
Yo, what the fuck's all this? Oh, I see. Just right there. Get out of the middle of it.
Alright, cool.
Are we okay
He
with
emerges
this?
from the bright aura that is around there.
Yeah.
Or actually light red. Sorry, it only goes like supernova when it activates.
Monkey is... I don't know what the monkey can do. Gonna do like a front flip or something. Marg, you got anything to do?
Not particularly.
Alright.
Okay. We can move on to Groft here. He leans over the edge, calls out to Sawyer, and says, that might be for the best for your health, but it'll go away once you're out of it.
Uh-oh.
As he turns and knocks an arrow in his heavy crossbow to try to pierce while ingest hits. Booyah. Sinking another arrow. There's about 5 or 6 arrows now just kind of sticking out of the eye. It's becoming kind of porcupine-esque. That's
like a Minecraft.
It looks like he can make it to here actually. He immediately steps into the circle. No words from him. But he does look over to you, Baggy, and kind of smirks and tips his hat. He also gives like a knowing look to Sawyer and whispers something to him. All right, next up we got Perri. If anybody wants, they can try to do perception. If you want to hear what was said.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Fenro want to do that. Fenro really want to do that.
Is this the right one? I can't read. Nope.
We've gotten
That's not
16,
the right
16, 17, 17, and I just rolled 18, 18.
Damn, bro.
It's actually.
We're going up.
That's actually a 4. I clicked on the wrong one. Not a 5. And just, you know.
Are you doing okay?
Me?
Yeah, you alright?
I don't know.
Like,
Are you doing okay?
That's...
Those are 4s.
I would... I wouldn't feel too great, that's all I'm saying. I'd be feeling a type of way. And I'm asking if you're feeling a way about these rolls.
No, I would never feel a type of way about rolls.
So I would say, Coleman and Rod, you probably hear at least some of it. It's nothing crazy substantial. It's pretty much him running by and saying, "Hey, you saved me. Let me take this one. You picked a hell of a one to spawn first." As he lights a cigar or a cigarette in the light of the eye.
Which,
just for cool points. Perry's gonna walk up and reach out another hand. He's gonna try to heal. Or sorry, actually, she comes to here. She's gonna go to Sawyer. Heck, without a doubt.
Yeah, just feel anybody.
So I rolled 1 nat 20 and then that.
Alright, Sawyer's healed for 8.
19 on initiative, and everything else has been below 5.
That makes up
Gosh.
for like every other day where Sawyer only rolls like 20s and above.
No, I'm saying me.
For Baggy.
Oh, you. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That does
That's how it
does
goes.
chug. All right, and that brings us to.
I had to double check just to be sure, and yeah, no. I rolled 2 good ones at the start, and I haven't rolled above a 5 since.
It's because I've been rolling pretty well.
Yeah, you
Right.
steal my
Had
luck,
to
stop
transfer.
it.
Yeah.
We come
There's only
to.
enough for one of the bad luck people to have luck.
Tug was a pretty bad roller. I remember this.
Yeah, but Tuck had 19 AC, so who needs to
Yeah,
roll
it didn't
at
really
that
matter.
point?
He can just stand there and nothing can happen.
And you could boost that to
True.
what, 23?
Yeah.
All right, so as we come to the top, you saw the red eye started drooping just a smidge when Sawyer walked out. As Ats coolly slips in, he steps 1 foot back in. The eye like shoots back open, like to the point of it's not like Fenro levels of like huge eye, but you know when someone holds their eyes as open as they possibly can.
Which we haven't done 10 rounds yet, so I mean, the eyes are still big.
Oh yeah, no, big time, big time.
Big time.
Yes. But yeah,
Large eyes.
just to give a little detail there. The eye is straining almost to just like hold open as hard as it possibly can.
Yeah.
As if it's like its intensity is raised when a body is in. And that is all though. That's all that the gate does. When we come to Baggy's turn, this is where we'll call it for the night. My only question, Baggy, do you want to try to read? Do you want to go through with your turn to try to read some of the stuff before we call it, or do you want to just call it here and then?
Probably be best. I'm gonna type a message in chat so I don't forget it, but no, there, it's just in chat now.
All right. Well, what of this crazy ancient construct door? Maybe a live door? Both? Crazy. There's dwarvish written on the walls that could help to solve this puzzle of an encounter. Will our heroes find out how to open the door next session? And how will things go once the battle has come to a close? Seems as though there's a easy but hesitant truce with the Golden Tail and the Crawling Dusk crew in the midst of battle. But what will happen at the end? And what will they find inside the gates if they are able to open it? Find out next time when we return next week to the Crawling Dusk.
Ooh.
Thanks for playing in my game, everybody. I had a
Thanks
blast.
for setting everything up, dude. This fight was just adorable.
Oh, you think so?
I do want to say.
Oh, dang it.
I do want to say, what
That
the
just
fuck's
clicked.
wrong with you, Coleman?
What? Stepping Nick out of the thing?
No, giving monkeypox to the states.
Oh, yeah, that was my
Have you
bad.
guys heard about this?
Yeah,
We're
there's a
getting
new
another
disease
pandemic starting. Pandemic number 2.
called monkeypox.
Which apparently can stay active and infectious in the air for 90 hours.